I'm arriving at a mausoleum. This one is called the Little Taj Mahal. That's the nickname this building got. I'm leaving its original name here because it's hard to pronounce. Its construction started in 1622 and finished in 1628, and its story is connected to Salim, son of Akbar and father of Shah Jahan, who built the Taj Mahal. The whole family is always involved in all the constructions in this region. This is a tomb that Salim's wife built in honor of her parents, who was Akbar's prime minister. The story is very interesting, very long, so I'll try to give just a brief summary. Akbar had this son, Salim, and the prime minister, who was Akbar's friend, had a very beautiful daughter. Salim was in love with her, but Akbar, since he was very wealthy, didn't want his son to marry the prime minister's daughter. So the prime minister gave his daughter in marriage to the governor of Bangla, which is now Bangladesh. The boy was devastated and sad, and he always asked his father where his fiancée, his beloved, was. And his father would say that maybe she had died, or traveled, or disappeared, because in reality she got married and vanished from the map. When Akbar died, Salim took power and started asking about where his beloved was, until they told him she had married the governor of Bangla. So he went there, conquered the territory, killed the guy, and rescued his wife. He married her, gave her a lot of power and money, because he loved her deeply, and with all that money and power, she built this mausoleum for her parents, the prime minister, and the wife of the prime minister of Akbar. But Akbar would have known that the story would end this way. But since Salim's wife didn't want to spend her own money, she told Salim that she needed money to build a palace for him, a place just for him, and she asked the architects to put and design wine bottles at the entrance door so that Salim would think the construction was for him. Little did he know, though, that it would actually be the mausoleum for his in-laws. We also notice that the place is very symmetrical, as they like everything to be perfectly aligned. You can see 4 entrance doors, and also the 4 towers here, the minarets, and right in the center is the mausoleum, which is incredibly ornate. The richness of detail you see here is just amazing. It's really worth stopping by this place if you're in Agra. Salim's wife was clever, so I imagine Salim would come here and see everything, and in every niche you look at here, there's wine and meat, things he absolutely loved. Well, after all this was built, he thought it would be a palace for him, but in reality, it wasn't a palace, a house, or anything nice for him. It was actually the tomb of Lydia Hahn's parents. If you're enjoying the video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get notifications for new videos. Well, I'm standing in front of the Agra Fort, built by Akbar. Remember him from when we were at Fate Sikri? He was the one who built that too, but here was the first palace. He only built over there later on. He lived in this palace for some time. construction of this place started in 1565 and went on until 1573. We could only visit 27% of this palace because the rest belongs to the government and is off limits to visitors. Well, Akbar built all of this out of red sandstone, but his son Selim and his grandson Shah Jahan destroyed part of what he had made and built other monuments in white marble. But we'll see that inside. All right, before we go in, I want to show you something. Look up here. You can see what we call the arrow slit, the hole where the archers would shoot their arrows. So just imagine people arriving, all hell breaking loose, war, bullets, gunfire, and on top of all that, there was this moat here, which was filled with water and crocodiles. So even if someone managed to get past something, they still had to jump over here, or if they got hit by an arrow and fell into the moat, they'd make a great meal for the crocodiles. If you manage to get past the palace security over there, the moat, the archers, then made it through the first gate, and you can't just go straight in with animals. If you're on a big war horse, you have to zigzag, which makes you lose momentum. So if you manage to get through all that, you still had to face this ramp. So you'd enter over there, and happy as can be, you'd come through here with your animal, with your horse, or you'd come on foot. But from up there, this is a ramp, they would start throwing huge stone balls or balls of fire down at you. And then, if you saw the ball coming and thought, no, I'll dodge it, I'll stick close to the wall because it's safe here, the ball will just go by. Sure, the ball would go by. But then the guys would pour hot oil down from above, right here, through these holes you see. In other words, it was really hard to invade this palace. And if you think jacuzzis are a modern thing, Selim already had his own. Just look at the size of Selim's bathtub. There used to be stairs here, but they were destroyed later on. The man really lived the good life. Of course, the bathtub was originally inside the palace, but today they put it out here so people can see it and take pictures at their leisure. Anyway, that's Selim's big bathtub. And the first palace I see right away when I get here at the bridge is Selim's. So let's see what different and beautiful things we can find here to explore. And if you're thinking about visiting India or taking any other trip, don't forget to get travel insurance, which is a super important item you can't leave out. Take a look at the link in the video description, where you'll find insurance options with lots of discounts. This here is the interior part of Shah Jahan's palace. You can tell he completely changed the style from his grandfather, who liked stone and pink sandstone. Here, you already see all the space made of marble. So Shah Jahan lived here. Now let's show the huge courtyard that was part of his palace. He had, right next to him, a courtyard with fountains and gardens, which was all very beautiful. And in the back, Shah Jahan had his harem, because every emperor with wives had to have a harem. That's where Shah Jahan's harem was. And here was the whole courtyard, where he watched his concubines dance, where he listened to music, where there were lots of recreational activities for him to enjoy. Remember, there was no TV or internet back then, so his entertainment was listening to music and watching his concubines dance happily for him. This very beautiful place you're seeing here is actually a prison, a jail. Of course, it's not a prison for an ordinary criminal. It was Shah Jahan's prison. The one who put him here was his own son. From these windows in the prison, Shah Jahan would sit there, looking at the Taj Mahal, remembering memories of his most beloved wife. He stayed here for 8 years until he passed away. Arrive at this wonderful space that is mixing sandstone with marble. Beautiful, isn't it? Big. And you ask me, what is this here? This is Shah Jahan's second harem. And I hope you enjoyed this first program here in Agra. So if you did, leave a like, a comment, share the video with your friends, and take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel now. And don't forget to follow me on my social media. And in the next episode, which will be the last of the series, we'll have the postcard of all of India, which is the Taj Mahal. And I'll be waiting for you there, because after all, deep down, there will always be someone who is born to travel.